Hey guys, what's up? Today, I'm very happy to be talking about some underground death metal because it has been a long time and I'm very inconsistent with doing this stuff. And I wish I could, but I'm just so backlogged on stuff I want to listen to by the time I get around to listening or talking about anything new. I'm like months to a year late. So I'm happy to say I'll be talking about some underground death metal from Iowa today. This is Goregod with their second demo titled Demo 2. Huge thank you to Kane for sending me this. This is some absolutely killer underground death metal from Iowa. The classic DIY setup. Band photos. And this has Kane on vocals, James on guitar, Killian on drums, and Zach on bass. And this is 3 tracks of some of the most unique and truly just absolutely crushing underground death metal I've heard in a long time. The thing about the underground is I'm no expert. There's plenty of bands I still need to get around to checking out. But this really stood out as being super unique to me. When I put it on, I was a little bit distracted at first. Just I had a bunch of stuff going on that day. I wasn't really totally thinking about the music. But the second I hit play, the first riff that strikes you on the song Cauldron is absolutely crushing. Coupled with that demo style production, the pinch harmonics on that first riff are just so squeaky, and they really got my attention. And what I can say is the biggest highlight on this demo for me, hands down, is the vocal performance. And I'm not just saying this because Kane was awesome enough to send me this. It is just beyond memorable and beyond phenomenal. I immediately was reminded of Dead's vocals from Mayhem on the Death Crush material because it's pretty unique and out there for death metal. The range is really wide, so he's got most of the time it's like the high screaming style, which fits perfectly with the music. But he also goes like lows, mids, high, kind of like Lord Worm. He's just doing all these ranges that are all over the place. And that's where when I first heard this, I thought of the band Gutted Pulp and their Swollen Contusion demo. They had high screams, not all the time, just scattered around here and there, that were very reminiscent of Kane's vocals on this demo. And I thought that was absolutely awesome. Very cool and unique to hear a vocal performance like that on something like this. And as I said, it fits the music perfectly because the music, it definitely has that scream, bloody gore, early or late 80s, early 90s style vibe. But also it has a lot of black metal influence, not only from the vocals, but a lot of the riffing styles, a lot of eerie style, almost scary, spooky sounding tremolo picking, with like a lot of evil melodic hammer-ons on the guitar. So the vocal style is definitely very fitting towards the music on this album. Another word I would use to describe it is absolutely torturous and depraved. A lot of the music kind of, not so much sonically the music, but the whole vibe kind of gives me a little bit of a Piss Grave resemblance. Just the music sounds like it'd be the soundtrack to dungeon torture or something of that sort. And there are the 3 tracks on here. The first one is Cauldron, the second one is Gorgasm, and the third one is Waking in the Grave. So Cauldron comes out right out of the bat, and in that first song, Goregod basically shows you what they're all about, what is going to be going on in this demo. And the second song, Gorgasm, is also very good. For being a demo, this has a surprisingly clear and clean bass tone. There's this cool part where the bass drops out. All the other instruments drops out, and the bass just plays the riff. And then they have a guitar solo over just the bass and drums, which I think is really cool. A lot of times, other bands will have another guitar playing chords, but this is guitar solo and just the bass and drums holding down the rhythm, which I thought was very cool. And the third song, Waking in the Grave, is probably my two favorites on this demo. It's only 3 songs, but if I were to choose two, the first track, Cauldron, and the third track, Waking in the Grave, is also really good. This song kind of gives me like a little bit of a Swedish death metal vibe, especially they got this like really catchy chorus that reminds me of the band Grave. Kind of, it's a groovy riff, but it's still very death metal, straightforward and driving. And the third track on here is really, really catchy, which is why it's one of my favorites. It's catchy, it's got that awesome riff, and just the vocals over the chorus. It's got the low gutturals up to the high screams, and the whole balance of good songwriting, but also chaos and depravity are really strong on this demo, which really makes it stand out to me. When I first saw this or got my hands on it, like I said, I was having a busy day. My mind was other places, but the second I put it on, this grabbed my attention. And I think that is a big standout, and that's very rare. There's so much great underground death metal. There's so much great, all this kind of music that's underground. But it's very rare that something can just catch my attention like that and keep me engrossed all the way. On the first listen, I was just absolutely blown away. The second I finished it, I just rewinded the tape and listened to the whole thing again because it blew me away that much. And not only that, is from the looks of it, these guys are 4 teenagers, give or take, the same age as me. And honestly, it's really inspiring and awesome to be able to see that teenagers can make this kind of music on that high of a level. And I play in a band myself, and I can say it's very inspiring to see all this great musicianship going on for a second release or a second demo. And I really have to commend the vocal performance. Kane, phenomenal job on here. One of the coolest, unique, and depraved vocal deliveries I've ever heard. And I have to say that is absolutely the standout for me. I highly recommend you check this out. Well, one thing I was confused on was I couldn't find this on the Metal Archives. It said it had a digital release. I couldn't find this release on their YouTube channel. I think it's really new. This might even be a promo tape, but hopefully you can message the band. Maybe they have some of these for sale, or maybe they'll be uploading it digitally. But whatever it is, I highly recommend you keep your eyes out for this demo. It's got this artwork, and the logo is by the legendary and awesome Nightmare Imagery. So keep your eye on Goregod. They have some other releases on YouTube to check out, but keep your eye out for this because it is absolutely a crushing, and really this is above the quality that I would have assumed for a second demo of a bunch of teenagers, and I think that is very, very impressive. So once again, this is Goregod with their second demo. Thank you so much, Kane, for sending me this and the stickers and all the other promos and stuff. It is good to know that the death metal underground is alive and well. I'm going to rate this an 8.5 out of 10, and for a demo, I'm going to say that's a pretty solid grade. So look for this, look for it upcoming, check it out, message the band, see if you can get a copy. I highly recommend it. And yeah, hopefully I have some more videos coming. I have the new Church of Disgust EP and the Disembowel full length coming in the mail. So I'd like to do videos on those in the upcoming future. So yeah, thanks for watching.